The romance genre is pretty great, isn't it? A place where you can see the relationships you wish you had in real life, and a genre that can make your heart melt. I for one love the romance genre, as it is one of my favorites. But there's one thing that started to bother me as I grew up. You see, I started watching anime when I was young, so a lot of these romance series that take place in high school seemed fine to me. They weren't far off from my age, and for a while, these experiences could have happened to me. Yeah, sadly, I never had that, but nonetheless, the more I grew up, the more I started to realize that a lot of these romance series, or just anime in general, take place in school or have a minor filled cast. And as someone who ages and grows, I kinda want my anime to grow alongside me too. But trying to find series where the cast is adults, or at least take place in college, is more difficult than one would think. But ragging on the romance genre for its incessant high school romance series is not what we're here for. We're here to see the few adult cast romance series that I have seen, in case you are in the same boat as me, trying to find some adult romance and manga. Sit back, like and subscribe. I am Satania Galileo, and we're about to talk anime. To start off with a lighter series, we have Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, a lighthearted series about this girl with huge bazongas annoying this dude named Sakurai into hanging out. That's pretty much the gist of it, and when I first started this series when this anime came out, I honestly thought it would have no progression whatsoever. But through season 2 in a spoiled manga panel, it turns out Uzaki does in fact have a lot of progression with the main characters. And as of season 2, both of these characters realize their feelings for each other. So now we're just waiting for that eventual confession scene. But to talk more about why I like Uzaki as much as I do, it's simple. It's a fun, lighthearted series with a good amount of ecchi scenes. Almost all the girls have big boobs, and almost all the dudes are tall and ripped. A recipe for a masterclass. Both of these characters are adults in college who work part-time, so you already know the shenanigans they get up to is better than the ones in high school romances. Like, we get to see Uzaki get drunk. Normally, in high school romance, it's some bullshit like alcoholic candy. But here, it was just two adults at a bar drinking it up. And that's part of the reason why I like Uzaki so much. In a world where getting characters to stay overnight, or just getting drunk casually, is usually the most difficult thing to do, Uzaki does it no problem. And as you get older and start to do what adults do, it's nice to see your anime reflect that too. Probably the most well-known and famous series we're going to talk about today, we have the super stylistic series Nana. Nana is one of the most influential series in all of anime manga. The amount of personality that just oozes out is just crazy. I recently read Nana not too long ago, and it's a damn shame that it is in hiatus. A cast that is made up of almost all adult characters besides one. These characters go on to form relationships of all kinds, most of which are toxic. But nonetheless, Nana is a gripping story of a series where you want it to be laid back and fun. But because of how real it is, it makes you remember that relationships can be like this too. In Nana, we have toxic relationships between a plethora of characters. Illegal relationships, love triangles, cheating. There's a lot going on here. Everyone here has their vice. No one is perfect. And they're all treated as humans too. And the same is treated towards relationships. Not one relationship here is perfect. Every character brings out some sort of trauma or problem to it. Whether it's constant cheating, inability to get past jealousy. These characters are just attacked with some sort of problem in their life. That's why you really get to treasure the early bits of Nana, because sooner rather than later, everything will get very serious. And the happy crew whose goal was to beat Trap Nest will soon fade away to a world where celebrities get their privacy invaded, no one knows how to effectively communicate, and Takumi just being a terrible partner. But all of that is part of the reason why we love Nana. It takes a grounded approach to romance and dreams. And I, for one, love the fact that these guys are celebrities. It adds a specific flavor to this series that most others do not have.
パンツまで汗でびしょびしょだから一緒に。
なんでだ。なんでオレンジに裸の女が2人も。いや3人。どんな寝相だよ。
お前。
Okay, after a scene like that, who wouldn't be interested? Do you like quintessential quintuplets? Well, do I have a series that is like that, but with triple the cast? Okay, triple the cast may be an exaggeration, but why does Goddess Cafe Terrace have such a huge cast? Well, before I get into that, let me tell you more about the series. The basic premise is that the main dude Hayato takes over his grandma's cafe, which houses 5 girls. And you can see the way this is starting. Through Hayato taking over the cafe, he gets closer with the girls, and eventually they start to fall for him, thus giving him a harem. And with season 2 coming out soon, I think it'll be when they show the new girls who will also be joined the harem. Yes, you heard me right. This is nearly a 10-girl harem. Insane. But Goddess Cafe Terrace does a good job in creating interesting girls. The main 5 are fleshed out pretty well, as they do have a good amount of time to be fully explored. These newer characters, not really, besides one, but when I was reading Goddess Cafe Terrace, it was so much fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and Hayato as a main character is leaps and bounds better than most harem MCs. Because for one, these girls do confess, almost all of them do, and Hayato deals with it. Not by giving an answer, because then why would the series go on, but by dealing with it better than other characters would. Instead of getting flustered, Hayato just goes about it maturely. I don't know if it's better than quintuplets, but if you do like quintuplets, I'd be surprised if you don't like Goddess Cafe Terrace. Before we get into the last anime, I want to quickly talk about how to relationship. If you're up to date with your Satania lore, then you know that I already have a video about this manga, so I'm not going to go too in-depth about it here. Let's quickly go on about it. Similar to Uzaki, 2 college students go about their relationship together, but also with other people and finding themselves in an adult world. Let me tell you, when I was reading this during summer break, I was so excited for my upcoming semester. That's how well this manga did when it comes to showing the adventures that you can get up to. Now, how well did that excitement hold up? It's better to ignore that question. I like this manga mainly due to its characters and the relationships between them. It doesn't go on about making these characters have simple relationships that has no layers. Each time you see a character open up, get to see how they grow. This is a perfect manga about not only getting into adulthood, but also the growing into adulthood part. Because guess what? Adulthood ain't all that easy. Whether it's relationship problems, past trauma, or whatever it may be, I think this manga does a good job showing it. The last anime I want to talk about may come out of left field, but it is definitely an adult cast anime with romance baked into it. And this anime, my friends, is a Gretzko. Surprise, surprise, I watched a Gretzko and I fucking loved it. It is a shame that it's not getting any more new seasons, but the ones we do have, I was happy with them. Gretzko is about this girl Retsuko, who works in the accounting department in this company. Her struggles with a disappointing love life, a terrible boss, and whatever scheme is brewing for the season. And she solves all of this stress and anger by going into a karaoke room and singing her heart out with death metal. I like the Gretzko because of its initially simple story of an office lady trying to find love and dealing with common problems like a shitty boss. It does get crazier as time goes on, but at the end of the day, it's still an office lady trying to live a normal life at the end of the day. It's really just a quaint little show with Sanrio designs baked into it. I wish it did have more of a slice of life than drama moments, because the drama we do get, oh boy, does it get intense. Stalker again, love triangles, and all that. Now, Gretzko hooks you on his death metal Sanrio character, but then you stay because you want to see how Retsuko gets herself into a normal situation finally. Well, there you have it, folks. Some of my favorite adult romance animes that I have watched. There are some popular omissions like Watakoi and Rent a Girlfriend, and that's because either I haven't watched it, like Watakoi, or it's Rental Girlfriend. Regardless, I hope more anime and manga come out with an adult cast, because every season I see a new anime that takes place in middle school or high school, I start to get annoyed now.